Yo, yo. People coming in. Oh, damn. What's up? I'm going to give a shout out to all the people who came in first. Comically large Chungus. Yo. Just some guy without pubic hair. Yo. The OG Big Smoke. Yo. Anime Junkie. Growth Julian Centurion. Shabadep Singh. As Killer 22. Carlos Reyes. Cuba. Krarup. Black Reaper 03. X Ruin AXB. Oh man. We got a bunch of people coming in. It's gonna be a crazy live chat. Hope you guys can hear me properly. Everything's okay. What's up? Didn't know you were a doctor. I didn't know either. Wish I could stay. Gonna hit the hay early. Yeah, it's true we gotta factor in the time zones, but I want to do this filming right now because it's American Thanksgiving. And I think in about an hour or so, you guys are going to be busy eating with your family, so it's important that we get this over with right now. And I didn't want to make you wait a few more days before I upload some videos because I'm pretty busy myself, and I want the shredded transformation to really marinate over the weekend so guys can really take it in and I get the maximum feedback. So how you going to pick questions? That's a good question, Bennett. There's going to be a lot. So I'm not concerned about the amount that'll be piled in. It's just going to be going with the flow, vibing with you guys. Like I said, I plan on speaking till about 5:30 and probably get off after then. But hey, if there's still a lot of people in the chat, then we'll keep it going. So, yeah, we got a lot of people in here. Fantastic. Camera out of focus. Oh, yeah. Or it's just the quality of this camera, because YouTube can also degrade sometimes. So put my hand right here. I'll make sure everything's good. I think this is about the best we're gonna get from a webcam. It's 1080p, you know. I do have a new thing on the way, so that I want to give you more live streams, but not just in this room, but in the training room. And then eventually I can start bringing you some live workouts as well. So that would be really cool stuff. So, enough about that. That's just like a little intro. How about we go over some quick announcements? Well, first of all, happy Thanksgiving. You guys are amazing. Love Americans. Always got amazing feedback from you guys. You're real. You value certain things that these days, I'm looking around, things are crazy. But it is what it is. So, all right, let's just get into the topic, okay? First things first, Black Friday specials. Look out for that. And shout out to Bells of Steel. Go on their website. You're going to see a bunch of gym equipment. It's worth it. High quality stuff. I got their SSB, trap bar, loadable dumbbells, the Viking press. You just can't go wrong with their equipment. So highly recommend it. Canadian brand. It's good stuff. Stop spamming. No, you guys ain't spamming. There's just a lot of people in here. You guys saying I look sharp. Thank you, thank you. Sheesh, let's go, Alex. Okay, let's go, let's go. So I want to start by answering questions about shreddedness. Then at the end, we'll get into more generic type stuff. So for now, let's bring it to body fat. So I recently did the transformation plus the negative side effects. And I'd actually made a third follow-up video discussing the powerful benefits, right? But I felt like it was doing you guys a disservice because I seemed a little bit too happy in that segment. That's probably because I'm actually eating a proper amount of food right now. I feel a lot better. And so I'm coming in with this crazy energy, but that's not how I felt throughout the journey. So I felt it was a little bit misleading considering how I composed myself in that segment. And it seemed a little bit too positive. Because let me tell you, the journey was horrific. I described a lot of the negative side effects. One of them being passing out for the first time in my life. And your boy's still here, doing well. I like to think it was neck training that kept me alive. Smashed my freaking head. Big bump right here, you know. Everything's fine. So, you never know what could happen. And that's why getting shredded is a difficult journey. You probably have way more fat than you even realize, guys. Like I was 185, cut down to 145, so it was 144.8. Then with the refeed, 146, and you gain some weight back pretty quickly. But anyway, it's rough. It's really rough, and I'd rather just answer the negatives in this live Q&A instead of another dedicated segment where I talk about how things are so good. Anyway, let's cover those questions. So I'm going to answer them right now. That was a long introduction, I know. Let's do it, boys. Let's do it. When's the gaming channel dropping? That ain't coming back, man. And I like it, but that's a side thing. Okay, Greg Doucette said you are genetically elite. Does that mean we can't achieve what you did? You can all get single-digit body fat provided you keep dropping your calories lower and lower. I'm no one special in this regard. I went down to 1,200, 1,500. And that's a lot lower than some guys do. The question is, are you going to look like me? Well, I've been training for a very long time. Bench 405 is a lifetime natty. You have to be jacked in order to look big when you're shredded. Otherwise, it's just going to appear flat and stringy. So, could you get single digit? We all can. The question is, do you have what it takes to push through the pain? Because you will suffer. You might experience some of the things that I discussed, and it's not fun in the slightest. In regards to muscle fullness, how aesthetic you look, genetics have a lot to do with that. But what I will say is that your face is going to look a lot better. I'm used to having that moon action, being round, nasty, storing all kinds of fat, bloat. Wasn't a problem when I got down to single digit, even though I'm kind of bloated right now because I've been eating garbage for the last 5 days. Pizza, pasta, lasagna, Eggos, Jamaican patties. You name it, I've done it. Even though I did that, I'm still looking all right. So, could you look amazing single digit? You could, but it's probably not worth it. And I doubt you'll be able to sustain this. And even myself, no way. I ain't keeping this. 165, that's the sweet spot. For you, I don't know what that's going to be. You got to factor in your height and how long you've been training for. The amount of muscle you have is a significant factor in this discussion. What body fat percentage gave the perfect amount of relative strength for calisthenics? I would say no more than 12%. But for some exercises, being shredded is actually to your advantage. Like when I got down to 9, that's when the one-arm pull-ups were the easiest they've ever been. And I would suspect that other exercises like the front lever or doing skills like the planche would have been really easy as well. The thing is, I don't really care to do that. I didn't even have the energy. Like one thing I didn't really talk about in my video was that even though you're lighter, you feel a lot more agile, especially when you're doing things like boxing training. You got that speed, that pop. Your work capacity goes to nothing. Can't handle the workouts. And so you don't even bother trying to push yourself because what's there to accomplish? You're just trying to look good for a short-term thing, whether that be recording yourself or looking in the mirror temporarily. It's honestly not worth it, but I would say 10 to 12% body fat is where you really excel at calisthenics. It is a lean man's game. Look at those who compete in street lifting. Most of them are not bare mode. They're not 15, 20%. They may have started off that way because they're doing weighted calisthenics, right? So weighted pull-ups, weighted dips. When you have that base and you lean down, it's easier to display your performance. In my case, you see me do a one-arm pull-up at 177. So what was the side effect from cutting down? You can rep it out 5 additional times. And so it brings out the best of what you already have. You're already strong. The muscle's there. The aesthetic is there. It's hiding behind the fat. That's where getting shredded comes into play. So you don't need a high body fat percentage to excel at bodyweight training. Just I don't know how you're going to feel during the workouts and if you'll actually push yourself, because you do feel like death. Do you take finasteride? No, bro. or minoxidil, nothing. I'm just accepting things for what they are. I want to answer some shredded questions, guys. I'm seeing a lot of stuff on rest pause and stuff like that. But let's bring it to getting lean, you know what I'm saying? Okay, over the 10 years, what did you do for your abs? They are very well developed. Got lean. I used to train my abs like crazy, guys, doing 8-minute ab workouts, a lot of weighted crunches, a lot of stuff on the bars. This was probably the laziest year of all time for me with ab training. It's also the best they've ever looked. Because we all got abs. They can only get so thick from training. And at some point, it's not about training them more. If at all, that makes a difference. If you're, like, I don't care what anybody says. If you're single digit, you're going to have a nice midsection, period. And even the obliques, I barely train. I was able to see it all. One of my best areas when I got lean enough. So it honestly is overhyped. And if you check out guys like Paul Carter, he's saying the same thing. Your best physique, you don't need a tremendous amount of direct work. Just saying. Could you estimate your body fat at the start of your cut? Well, I saw Greg Doucette's video and he said I was around 25% body fat. I don't think it was quite there at that stage, but it certainly was on the higher side. I'm going to say minimum 20%, but it could have been as high as 23% possibly. I doubt I was in the 25 to 30 range, but who knows? People tell me I have good fat distribution, like it stores evenly. And in regards to body fat right now, I would say 9%. I don't think I got to the extreme of shreddedness, where you have rippling glutes, massive chest striations, veins literally everywhere. The only place where I got really veiny was my forearms and my quads too, but under the lighting conditions that I filmed in, it's not as apparent, you know? And also some areas of my arms I never knew I had were popping out. So I definitely think I was in the higher end of single digit, not 5 to 6, which is what you see when you're literally on stage trying to maximize the shreddedness. So understand that there are degrees to this. Have you tried a French toast? You better believe it. Like I said, and I should have expanded more in my side effect video, I took Greg Doucette's advice very seriously. Why? Because he competed 42 times naturally. That says a lot. You can say whatever you want about him right now, but the dude is honest. Let's just keep it real. And what he did in the past speaks for itself. So it doesn't matter where he's currently at if he had a track record of doing good without PEDs. So I watched all of his competitive dieting videos and I followed his exact peak week protocol to the letter. I didn't F around. So Monday to Thursday, well actually Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 8 liters of water. And then the Thursday, you cut that by around 50%. And you allow yourself to have a little bit of dandelion tea, which was my natural diuretic, if you will, but no more than that. And then Friday, you barely drink because you got that super dry look and you want to risk spilling over. And then a few hours later, you pump up, you're good. But a few days later, you do gain a tremendous amount of water weight back. It's unbelievable. I didn't think it was going to be that much. So I did the protocol. It worked really well. I just trusted the process. I woke up one day, bro, at 144.8. I was like, this is unbelievable. It works. Trust me, guys. You're carrying on a lot more water weight than you think. Even if you thought it was depleted at the start. So like me going from, say, 185 to 177, even if you think that was a good amount of water weight loss, it's nothing compared to the end. That's what gives you that hard, grainy look, if you will. You gotta follow the method. Water weight is depressing. It is. How much did you pee drinking that much water? Cuba, about every 15 to 30 minutes. It's nonstop. You are peeing all day. And you don't want to drink. You're forcing yourself to do it. So if you have someone over, you might get on their nerves because it's non-stop. You walk over to the bathroom, you don't want to, but it is what it is. Did you consume more than 145 grams of protein? You better believe it. I was an absolute protein nut job. Not that you would ever need that much to begin with. The only reason why I kept it that high, it wasn't due to being fearful of losing muscle mass. I didn't care about that. I already knew I was going to get small. It is what it is. The reason I kept it that high was to preserve my appetite. Because I was starving 24/7. If you're only eating 1,500 calories a day, how in the actual you-know-what are you supposed to be full? Well, for one, you're not. You're never full. You're dying 24/7, but the smartest alternative is to up your protein intake and overdose the vegetables. You gotta go ham on the greens. Having salads with every meal. There's no other option. Just saying. And by the way, even when you do that, another side effect is you're gonna be constipated. Yeah. And the only thing that's gonna make you go is if you have a lot more caffeine, and it's gonna be at random times. So that's my response to that. Why didn't you use OMAD prolonged fasting for your cut? Because I didn't have the energy to do so. I did one 48-hour fast and I couldn't handle it. Felt like death. It's one thing to do it in a leaner state. You can typically push the 72s, 4 or 5 days. It's doable. When you're closing in on single digit, you're going to feel like you're going to pass out. So after trying it one time, it could have been a fluke. But hey, I do it with the snake juice. Still felt like garbage. So do I recommend prolonged fasting when you're at the end stage? No. Not after what I experienced. I already had low blood pressure without that. That makes it worse. Did you lose any beard gains during your cut, bro? No. I just shaved because I had the jawline. Might as well show it off. Now it's coming back. And I've actually become a somewhat faster grower over the years as I'm getting older, which is pretty awesome. No minoxidil. But during the cut, it was fun. Having no facial hair, designer stubble, great look. Did you do cardio or 10K steps during this cut? Only at the start, my friend. It's like I'm telling you guys, your energy goes to nothing in the end. It really does. I started off with about 30 to 60 minutes of jogging every other day. At some point, it was down to twice a week. And the sessions were no longer half an hour. Actually, what I would often do, shout out to Natural Hypertrophy, is go through his series and jog while listening to him. As weird as that may sound. But I went through the meditations with him. It was a great experience. And many others that he's talking about. Just because he has longer videos, so I thought, this would be perfect when I'm going for my run. So I went through a lot of that content. So in general, I always tried to mix in many things at once. You're multitasking the cardio, not just music, But anyway, yeah, at the end, bro, 1-2 times a week, and then eventually 0. The shortest I did, nearing single digit, was 20-minute burpee workouts. That's all I can handle. Why didn't you compete? Never had the desire to compete in bodybuilding, but once I got down to that level of leanness, I honestly regretted not signing up for competition. I should have done it. Even if that would have meant me losing another 10 pounds, like Greg said in his recent video, should have done it. So I low-key regret not doing that, but I honestly didn't have that objective going into this. I wanted to make a transformation video for you guys, show you what's possible. A natural who's been grinding for years, what happens when that dude gets lean? Set an example. It wasn't about stepping on stage with other dudes comparing. It's not about that. That's not the message I speak, even though I do respect it a lot more. For anyone who's been single digit, particularly as a lifetime natty, I respect you. Because I know the struggle. And after reading some of your comments, man, we're in this together. How much were your maximum recoverable volume and minimum effective volume affected? Well, I had to do 2 sets per compound movement. I couldn't handle the third one, or else my reps would drop massively. So if the objective was getting 10 to 12 reps, I might get 6 on the final set. As weird as that may sound. Even when I rested 3 to 5 minutes between sets, which is my usual setup, it wasn't doable. So that was really the main thing, and it's why I did feats of strength like 1-arm pull-ups, maxing out, was still able to handle that. And weighted calisthenics in particular, if you notice, most of the cut, when I was losing weight, I did a lot of high volume stuff. And it worked great. I barely did any weighted calisthenics. It's really towards the middle end where I was like, ooh, I'm starting to feel it. And this was notable in the 150s specifically. So anything that's below 11% body fat in my case, yeah, I had to lift heavier weights. Did you notice more hair loss with the weight cut? Nah, not really, man. And that's going to be DHT related. It's not about the blood flow theory. Check out Kevin Mann, aka Hair Cafe. Check out Derek from More Plates, More Dates. It's not about nutrient deficiencies, okay? Did you eat any meat during this diet? I'm not vegan, bro. I'd like to be 100%, and I probably will do it in the near future, but for the health benefits, because I believe in the science. I look at the evidence. The evidence demonstrates that animal products don't seem to be helpful in any type of way. Now, you can point out the blue zones that the pescatarians did slightly better on one of the things, but overall, the closer you get to 100%, the better off you're going to be. I'm not a denier of that. I am not a saturated fat and cholesterol denier. Like a lot of these marketing frauders will say is perfectly good for your health. Stop listening to these dudes. But I do enjoy animal products, unfortunately. It sucks. How'd you counter cravings at night? Well, the popcorn was phenomenal. So you get the Orville kind, right? And you can have a bag or 2 of those and you're okay. And also the Diet Pepsi in particular, since there's 0 calories in that. So that combination, and then having a lot of fruit. So I would often have a big bowl of strawberries, around 500 grams, have it one shot, you're okay with that. Will we ever see a big squat series like your bench? That was great. Yeah, because now that I'm going to gain some weight back, I don't really have any aesthetic goals to shoot for at this current time frame, and so let's get the legs strong. But I'm not going to post stuff right away and have a bunch of people say, oh, the conjugate system doesn't work. What you're saying doesn't work. I don't need dumb comments right now. When I can inspire the masses in a few months, it won't take that long when I'm putting up the proper numbers. And it will happen faster than you think. Keep in mind, you're looking at a guy who pulled an easy 565 sumo without much specific training. And I did a 700-pound trap bar deadlift, and I used to have 26-inch legs. And I'm not near my potential. So you're going to see some good stuff. Just give me a little bit of time once I rebuild some performance and get that fat up. Are you planning on fasting for 40 days after this cut? Nah, man. I might do a 48 to 72 in a bit, just to get rid of some extra water weight, but that's about it. It's your main source of protein. Beans are phenomenal, bro, because they keep you full. They got the fiber, they're rich in micronutrients, good for your gut bacteria. Should always have beans in your diet. It's one of the foods that are associated with longevity, universally. And if you can't handle it right now, your microbiome's not on point. Start with a tablespoon of black beans a day, up it from there. But ideally, there should be a combination with multiple meals. Like I have a lot of soups. with lentils and stuff like that. Sex drive during the cut, like I said, only got urges about once a week. But I was surprisingly still okay, God bless. I think if I would have gone even further, losing another 5-10 pounds, might not have been able to get it up. And that's scary, because you guys think, oh, you're going to look amazing, you're going to get all these chicks. It's not what you think it is. Sure, you might get stares and you get treated a little bit differently, but if you can't perform and you don't have that killer instinct, what's it for? Trust me, it's not the way you think it's going to play out. It won't. I guarantee you that. Unless you're on drugs. Have you ever suffered from muscular hip flexor pains? Well, actually, I've been getting pain in my hips when I lie down in bed because my bones are pressed. There's like no fat around them. And also, when I've been doing belt squats, it hurts. Like it digs in. So I think right now I'm going to have to wear a long sleeve top or some thick sweatpants pulled up above my belly button because it's not doable. It really freaking hurts, guys. I get bruises on the side, which didn't used to happen when I had all that fluff. What's the plan now, mate? Gain back another 15 pounds. Yeah. What's the ideal weight? 165. I'd like to get back to that, but I don't know how long it's going to take. It could be quick. It could be short. I don't really care too much. I just know it's going to happen. How does it feel being that shredded? Like death, bro. It's not worth it. It was the worst I ever felt in my entire life on this planet. I literally couldn't think. Do you know how many videos I made for you guys that couldn't get published? They were garbage. That's why the videos went down over the last 2 months. It's not me trying to make excuses, but it's the truth. I wasn't willing to produce subpar content for you. No. Not at this stage. I've done that in the past. Never again. How long should your plateau be before reducing calories? You'll know, bro. After a week or two, assuming that you're eating the same foods every day and the water weight is down, it's fast. But I would say no more than 2 weeks. Do you plan on main gaining at 165? I'm going to do mini bulks and cuts, bro. So hovering between 165 and 170. It's very fast to lose 5 pounds. So I feel like that would be the most reasonable approach. And the surplus that I would be in would be very minor. When are you going to try your weighted pull-up chin-up? I don't know, man. I don't like to redo the same 1 rep maxes frequently because that is what ego lifting is. It's not using the max effort method on variations. It's trying to do the competition lift all the time. How do you think I was able to max out on the bench twice a week, get 4 or 5 without snapping my body up? No pec strains, no shoulder proms, no elbow, nothing. How do you think that's possible? Because I rotate variations. You have to do this to minimize overuse. So that I'm going to come into the same variation on a pull-up. When I maxed out recently, got 175, no. I'm not getting injured. I am so done with ego lifting. I can't do it anymore, guys. You get smarter as you get older. But once I feel ready, which should be soon, I'm going to go for it. I'm not even going to try doing 175. It's going to be right into 180. Send you any receipt, get the updated version? Absolutely. Same day email. Would you do anything different to prevent losing neck size on the cut? Yes. I would have trained it seriously because I barely did. So one thing I've been pointing out for years is that when you stop training your neck, you will lose the muscle mass. Can't maintain your yoke. Though my traps did surprisingly well. I think, and this is only theoretical, that I induced hyperplasia in 2016 by doing all those rack pulls above the knee with over 1,000 pounds. It did something, guys, because my traps never shrank down to their previous size. Even after cutting, even after fasting, doing all this crazy stuff, they're always jacked. So that's, it could be very bro sciencey of me to say that, but the traps are on point. The neck, however, does not seem to respond the same way in the slightest. And I'm never blessed in that area. How long was your cut? 6 months, dude. Do you think you can get those neck gains back? Absolutely. There's no gains that I can't get back, including the 405 bench. Anything that I've achieved, muscle and strength wise, muscle memory's got me taken care of. You give me a few months, I'm going to be on point. It'll be the same for you too. That's the beautiful thing about this. It is a permanent checkpoint. Why did you not use juice? Because it would have been worth nothing. I don't respect juice head shredded transformations. I'm not going to wash them. I'm not going to promote them. I don't relate to it. I relate to the guys like you who went through the same experience as me. That we suffered together. We weren't alone. We saw the low energy, the low blood pressure, all of these negative feelings, wanting to quit. The true grind, the suffering. That's what I'm here for. Not interested in that shit. Did you take Natty subs? Yes. A multivitamin just to prevent nutrient deficiencies since I was in a deficit for a long time. ZMA. No creatine during the cut, though I probably should have after seeing some of the recent evidence. And other stuff for the immune system, but that's not related to the cut in any type of way. Did you stand up too fast when you fainted? Not really, man. I was sitting down, but I got up as normal, walked over to the door, boom, put the package away, and then I don't remember a single thing. Put a gun to my head. Tell me what I remember. I don't. And nobody knocked me out. There was no drugs involved with this. I just fell backwards, bro. Like this. Boom. Like backwards. Boom. Had a big bump right here. You guys tell me how I survived that. How? I don't know how that happened, but I'm okay. Thank God. Did you do pictures for Tinder? No. I'm in a long-term relationship. What about hitting 405 at 165? Is that a goal for yours? Like your trap bar deadlift while lighter? I think it's doable, but it would be a long-term goal. I can't do that right away. And as far as being bear mode is concerned, I think 200 kilos would be more reasonable. Why don't you dare to test your total testosterone and share it? I don't care, bro. That's why. What does it change? Natural levels are never super physiological. It might affect this, not testosterone. It might affect your sex drive ever so slightly. But if you're between 500 and 700, let's say, what's the difference muscle gaining wise? And what if you nocebo yourself because you're on the slightly lower end? I don't care. Now, if I'm offered a test for free, sure, I'll do it. I'll give you some numbers, but it doesn't make a difference to me. Just to say, and this could sound very irresponsible, but the last time I did a blood test in which I received my results, I was 17 years old. I don't know what any of my numbers are like. I could be prone to all kinds of shit I would not fucking know. Is that dangerous? Is that risky? Possibly. But considering that I follow a whole foods plant-based diet primarily, like I said, I'm not 100%, but considering that I live and breathe a healthy lifestyle, I think I'm okay. So I've taken the risk up until now. Maybe I should smarten up and get some blood tests done. But All these guys, they get tested every few months. They got to know exactly what the numbers are. Hello, steroid user. That's probably what you are. And that's your prerogative, or you're just health conscious. Maybe I'm the idiot. I don't know. But it's never been a big deal for me. How much can you bench press right now? Probably in the low 300s. I'm kind of scared to find out because I feel like that would cause me to lose my sanity after working so hard to get 405. So I think I'm just gonna do variations, lift heavy, get close to my 1 max percentage wise, and then in a few weeks I'm gonna try to test it. And I think by then it'll probably be back in the mid 300s. Doesn't take long. As a natural, where did you keep your fat intake grams percentage? Minimum 10%, no higher than 20%. You don't need a crazy amount. However, what I will say is, in the end, I started to get some really bad brain fog, and I corrected that by having a very small handful of walnuts because my fat intake was pretty low, and the omega-3s you get from this made a difference. That's what I think anyway. Oil-free, eh? Whole diet. Just spices. So also when I say that the foods were unpalatable, I'm talking about comparison in the sense that you're not having cheat meals and you're not putting olive oil and stuff like that. Please stop avoiding the question. I don't see your question, dude. There's 683 people in here. I'll get to it when I can, if possible. Hello from France. You speak French as a Canadian? And if yes, it'll be great to make a video in French. Oui, je parle français. J'habite à Montréal, Québec. Et c'était ma langue primaire quand j'étais un enfant. Donc, si vous avez des questions en français, demandez-moi. Je vais t'aider, bro. Mais j'ai un accent quand même parce que je suis anglophone. Quand j'étais 5 ans, j'ai changé. C'est l'école qui fait ça. Hey bro, what's your height? 5'5.5". Not that tall. And for all you idiots who say that I'm 5'2", 5'3", bro, you see me work out with Jeff Nippard. I'm a bit taller than him. And any comments about elevator shoes, yes, I've used them in the past. I got an old pair. I didn't wear them when I was with him. Those were regular Reebok running shoes from Costco. So, yeah, I'm short, but not as short as you guys claim. Some of you, anyway. When are you bringing out the Calisthenics program? Well, it is in the works, and I'm going to be doing the photo shoot for it very soon. All in the home gym, of course. And I'd like to get it in. I mean, I'm not rushing this thing, guys. It's going to be a damn good program. Should I reveal the name? You guys might have an idea of what it is. But let's just say that it utilizes my favorite system of all time. The same system that got me to 405 on the bench. These principles are universal. The management of volume and intensity, rotating special exercises, all that applies. It's no different with calisthenics. Is 25 grams of saturated fat too high when cutting? You bet it's too high. The max you should have in a day is 12 grams. And even then, the closer to zero, the better. Avoid saturated fat. It's not good for you. Contrary to what the marketing frauds will tell you. That includes coconut oil, by the way. Sorry, I'm looking at the evidence. Though it's far less worse than the saturated fat from red meat. Will you take advantage of your lighter weight to do advanced calisthenics moves? Yes, because I don't plan on going back to bear mode for some time. And I think that even in the 160s, I could still pull off some crazy stuff, like the planche and all that. using my gymnastic rings. I'm not going to get away from that. And I also have another device that's incoming, which will allow me to take my weighted calisthenics performance to that next level. So that should be really fun to incorporate. And of course, the carryover to skill work and all that is very high. Alex looks really pissed off. I'm not pissed off in the slightest, homie. I'm in a great mood. I'm just so happy to have my energy back. Truth is, you've never seen me mad on YouTube. Not once. At least not in the crazy sense. Because there's spectrums to that as well. Could be a little bit frustrated. I see a lot of craziness out here. But I'm never like on the verge of wanting to break someone's face. You shouldn't get mad like that over videos and stuff like that. I just get annoyed. That's all. Camera isn't focusing. Alright, we're going to do a focus retest. Hope you could see me better. Good thing your cut is finished before the holidays, exactly. Which will allow me to gain back some good weight for the winter time. Do you feel weighted vest chin-up is superior to dip belt variation? Those are, you're comparing the chin-up to a, oh, okay, I see. No, it's not. Because you can lift less weight. What it does do is alter your body leverages. So you can't, like it depends how you set it up as well. Like when you're wearing a backpack, it's going to cause your body to lean backwards. And so you're doing a hybrid of an inverted row and a pull-up at the same time. And that is not good leverages. Because when you max out, you'll find that the body rounds forward and becomes a little bit more upright. So you're fighting against that nature by assuming such a position. But I don't think it's a better thing. It's just a variation. And smart people do both if they have access to the setup. Did you get cramps during the second half of the cut? No. Never had that problem. I find that cramps could be related to electrolyte intake. I believe I was okay on that. As well as the movements you do. So if you perform a hamstring curl lying down flat on your stomach, so there's no slope, you're more likely to get hamstring cramps. How to get through a weight loss plateau? Excellent question, my man. Here's what you got to do. Drop the calories a little bit more. What's that? You don't need a low-carb diet? You don't have to buy a new book? Some fad? You just got to drop the calories in? Calories in versus calories out? That's what it is? Yeah. If you plateau at 2,000, try 1,800. That stops, you try 1,600. And you keep going. The body does not stop losing weight as long as you keep dropping it down. It's what it is. How did the cut mess you up psychologically? I feel like I dropped multiple IQ points. I couldn't think whatsoever. And it was affecting my channel in the sense that I couldn't make the content I wanted for you guys, even though I had the videos lined up. Everything is written. All the outlines. I'll turn on the camera. I couldn't. Dead. And the feeling small part and clothes, didn't really care about that. You kind of know what to expect. It really is that you feel dumb. Like, I don't know how else to explain it. There's nothing in your brain that's functioning. You're just slow. Do you meditate at all? No. Though I do have a book that I received on meditation, which I'll be reading soon. For me, it's about reading a book, getting into a flow state. What lift did you lose the most strength at? Probably the bench press. If fat cholesterol is how you make hormones, then shouldn't fat become more of a priority the deeper you go into a cut? Weren't you too low for a natural? Your body makes your own cholesterol. Let's establish that first. And in regards to fat intake, I'm not telling people to go below 10%. 10, 20, that's all you need. You don't need excessive amounts. Anything beyond that is a waste of calories. How are you feeling now? A lot better. Way better, guys. Night and day. Tu penses que 200 kg bench en bare mode serait plus simple que faire 405 à 165 livres? Ha, absolument. Parce que tu as beaucoup de calories et c'est facile. How many IUs of vitamin D3 do you take? About 10K. I know that might sound like it's a little bit much, but from what I've heard, if you're white and you go out in the sun for 20 minutes, you absorb about that amount. And keep in mind, I don't really care that much about getting it every single day. If I forget, I forget. And I only take vitamin D3 in the wintertime. Still into arm wrestling at all? No. I was in it before it was popular. Now I'm not. I don't care. Did you lose strength in all of your presses? I would have to say yes. However, depending which press it was, it would vary. So my push-up game did pretty well. Dips are okay. I could still do 4 plates on the way to dips, which isn't as good as 5. It's quite a reduction if you ask me, but I'm not weak by any stretch of the imagination, just weaker compared to what I know I'm capable of doing. Fuck. Would you compete in powerlifting at 66 kilos and break a few records? See guys, I'm so used to pounds that I'm gonna calculate that. Oh, at 148. Yeesh. I don't know. I don't like being that weight, man. Nah, probably not. And plus, what's the benefit for me? And am I even gonna beat records when I'm competing a bunch of fake natties? I'd rather compete as a 161, 165 lifter. But even then, I'm not interested in powerlifting. Are you in the 150s now? Yes, I am. Not 146. That really is a temporary state. You get there to look good for the shoot, and after that, things start to go downhill, either through your own discipline or through the fact that it's just not a maintainable weight, being that dry. I mean, you could pull it off if you keep staying strict like that, but it's tough. Please stop spamming, man. Hey man, which app did you use to track your calories? Can you make a vid on how to use a calorie tracker? I'm not gonna make a video on how to do it, but I used Chronometer, or as some of you call it, Chronometer. I find it very specific because you get to see the full breakdown, and I like it more than MyFitnessPal. Alex, is your height in centimeters a good weight for novices? No, that's a good weight for advanced lifters if you're lean. So if you're 185 centimeters and you want to be jacked and lean, you're going to weigh 185 pounds on average. So it's a nice little universal range, if you will. You're not using Jeff's calorie tracker? I'm not. I would have, but I just stuck to what I knew. Chronometer. Is 190 pounds for a 6'1" lift or a good weight for barren mode? Probably not, because I can do that at my height. So you'd have to be in the 200s if you ask me. Probably minimum 210. What's your TDEE now? I don't know. Depends how much weight I'm going to gain back. It's still too early to tell, guys. Do you play some video games still? Actually, video games were additionally helpful during the shredding process because it kept my mind occupied. Because I was so brain dead, I needed something to keep myself busy besides just trying to be productive. Besides, scripting and writing, answering questions, stuff like that. You got to have a little bit of fun in your life. And for me, gaming, I've realized over the years, keeps me happy and distracted in a certain respect. I don't play a tremendous amount. It's more like 1-2 hours a day maximum. But it is worth including. I alternate between that and watching anime. Because your boy is a nerd at heart. And very proud of it. I'm not answering political questions, guys. 0. Was there anything else? I already talked about that. What are your body measurements? I talked about that in my last video. Waist is 28 inches. I'm very happy about that. Arms are puny as heck right now. 15, yeah. I'm going to work so hard to build them up this year. I'm smaller. I don't think you're going to look bigger in this state, especially when you're wearing clothes. You know how loose this top is underneath? I had this tailor-made, guys. It's not tailor-made. I bought it, and then I had it tailored. Do you want me to show you how small I look in this? Let me know. Skinny fat solution. You gotta put on more muscle. You don't need to get more ripped. That's the problem with skinny fat individuals. They believe that they're soft because they're carrying extra body fat. No, you may be a little bit on the higher end, quote unquote, perhaps 15, 18%. But if you had 10 to 20 pounds of muscle on your frame, you would be bear mode in that state. Or be reasonably defined, since the bigger muscle will look better. So really the problem is you might have to gain more weight or recomp. You don't need to go through a large cutting phase trying to, drop 20 pounds or so, because then you're just going to look really weak. You're going to have that, and all respect goes to Bruce Lee, but you're going to have that type of look. Be sucked out. And I have a friend who did that, by the way. He was a novice lifter, decided to get shredded. Looks like a skeleton. In clothes and with a shirt off. And I always told him, bro, you needed to gain 10, 20 pounds of muscle. He didn't listen to me. But guess what? He's so used to being shredded that now he has really bad body dysmorphia. And he's having a difficult time gaining the weight back. So don't put yourself through that. When the real solution is, build some muscle. Is this your favorite look you've had? Yes. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I love the look. I wish I could look like that year round. What you saw, the end stage, when I'm wearing the Jed North shorts and even the Hugo Boss undies, look like a Greek god, man. And I'm trying to be humble, but fuck. Wish I could look like that all the time. It's just not sustainable. I know I won't be able to do that. I'm gonna lose my mind. So it's not that you can't do it, it's the refusal to do it. Knowing that there's so much suffering awaiting with no hope of things getting better. It's a very scary thing, especially when you fall and come close to your demise. Do you like older men? I'm straight and in a long-term relationship. But if you're talking about do I respect older men, absolutely. And I actually do have an interview with Sean G coming out tomorrow. 52 years old. He's a real guy. Check out his channel. You're going to be really happy with the information he has to offer. Because Older guys have a lot of life experience, and you can learn from that. Surround yourself with people who are better than you. That's how you really grow. Learn from those who've been there, done that, have experience. Favorite JoJo's part? Sunlight Yellow Overdrive. My favorite season was unquestionably the first. I don't care what anybody says. Can't beat it. And I loved Hamon. I don't fuck with the stands. That's why I stopped watching it. Sorry. It was enjoyable though. Sean G be like, check him out, check him out. Yeah, that's how he does it. Weighted jogging. It probably wouldn't be the best idea if we're talking about compromising your form, because that's what's going to happen. But as a general conditioning tool, sure. The same would be if you're dragging a sled or if you're not going too excessive on the vest, maybe 10, 20 pounds. What I would say is when you're in a heavier state going for jogs, that is your weighted vest. And when you're leaner, you should enjoy the fact that you're mobile, light, you can just move around, no problem. It's a beautiful feeling. Not gassing out, because it's not just about the endurance, it's the lightness on your feet. Are you a gym bro? I'm a home gym bro. Podcast with natural hypertrophy? I'd be game any day. I really like this content. Probably one of my favorites on this platform right now. So, if he's interested, let's do it. But no pressure. Did you lose muscle on this cut? Unquestionably, yes. You can't maintain all your size when you go from being fluffy to single-digit body fat percentage. It's not happening. The only people who could do that are steroid users. You think you're going to go into a show? Did you lose a 405 bench? Yes. I can't do that right now. Probably would have difficulties doing it with a slingshot to top it off. It's stupid to lose muscle, right? All depends what you're looking for. One thing I'll say about being single digit is that your face caves in, right? And some people prefer the model look. They would rather be small and weak, but to have that chiseling action because they view it as a worthy trade-off. Maybe they're tired of having that moon face. So there's always going to be some sacrifice involved when reaching any physique goal. You know, even if you're trying to be bear mode, the sacrifice is you lose that aesthetic appearance. And, you know, it's a different look. What's up, Isaac? What are your fitness goals from now on? Gain some weight back. Get a stronger squat, specifically. The deadlift, I feel like 600 is going to happen in no time at all. Because I was already really closing in on that, so I'm not worried about the dead. It's really just a squat that I got to bring up. And my hamstrings might be the worst muscle in my body right now. They shrank to absolute nothingness. I lost all of my hamstring muscle. My glutes shrunk too, but that's going to come back quickly. But I am concerned about the back of my leg. I didn't think it was going to get that small. It's freaking weird. As someone who was never emphasizing quad dominant stuff. So I just got to bring up the legs a bit, regain, you know, some basic performance in the upper body, keep doing my weighted calisthenics, all that, and, you know, get out of this state that I'm in right now. Where do you store fat the most? I'm guessing your face, but I don't know. Yeah, the face. Face, obliques. So I get wide, okay, because if you look at me being 185, I still had a visible six-pack, right? But my waist was around 34 and a half inches. Right now, it's at 28. So even though you could have definition in the center, it could be going all around, which is exactly what happened to me. And maybe there was some visceral fat as well. I wouldn't know. So for me, it's the face and the waist. around it. And then the arms, it goes to my biceps a lot too. I get this very bloated look. My back, surprisingly, maybe that's why I look a little bit leaner at those weights. I have an overall even distribution. Great chat here, Alex. YouTube Fitness needs your philosophy applied on the squats. Well, much love. Gabriel Martins, you've been around for a long time, and I appreciate your support. Really. You're a real one, always showing love, and you've made some great gains yourself, so keep it up. And it's a great honor to be chatting up with you guys. You know who Iron Wolf is? Of course, dude. One of my favorite channels. You want some real motivation on getting fit? This is what it is. Iron Wolf will get you right. I've done a lot of his workouts, and even though they're really hard, and I want to die every single time, wow, do you feel amazing after completing them. What's up, Techo? Are you going to respond to Greg Doucette? I wrote a comment. You can check it out in his video, and we've gone back and forth on the DMs. Really appreciated making that segment. Why are you going for a bigger squat? You always said that you don't like tree trunks. What was your all-time best squat max? Well, let me first say that I love the way my quads look right now. I got that old school aesthetic look. Many have compared me to Steve Reeves and Frank Zane, which I am truly honored because those are amazing aesthetic physiques. And I stand by every statement ever made in the sense that I don't like the tree trunk look. I think it's repulsive, and I love having legs that vary between 23 and 25 inches. But I'm also not delusional in the sense that if I want to get my squat to 500 and above, I'm going to have to put on some mass on these legs. So am I willing to settle for a less aesthetic look, have a bit more mass, more tree trunky to do that? Sure. Doesn't mean I'm going to maintain that for the rest of my life. But if you want to get stronger, you have to maximize your size. So, and I use the conjugate system, accessories are emphasized heavily. I'm not just going to do the squat at a high frequency. I'm not going to risk getting an injury to accomplish a bigger squat. Why can I deadlift 500 but only bench 235? Well, that's because of your build, my friend. You probably have exceptionally long arms. Lots of people are that way. Or they have a 600 to 700 pound deadlift with a 315 bench. It's purely leverage. It's not that you're weak. Unless your program wasn't good at all, but I'm assuming that if you're putting up advanced numbers on one lift, is because you trained correctly building up to that point. It's just that the other stuff, you don't have that structure. It's the same thing with me in conventional deadlifts. My proportion with that to the bench is not equivalent. I got these shorter arms. Were you tempted to eat dirty right after the cut? Not only was I tempted, I did it. So, the refeed, you can check it out on Instagram. I'm gonna open it up right now. My lips are dry, by the way, sorry for that. I had Pop-Tarts, Eggos, Crispy Minis, Kit Kats, maple syrup, and in the back, there's also cookies. That was day 1. Day 2, had an extra large pizza. Day 3, lasagna. Day 4, lasagna and pasta. And day 5, I had pizza again. Oh, day 6, Jamaican patties. Day 7, Jamaican patties again. There's your wonderful diet. I probably gained minimum 2 pounds of fat from that. That would be the bare minimum. At what point does gaining weight not help your lifts? The more fat and fuller, the stronger. But at what point is it pointless? In short, what's the ideal weight? That's a good question. Some people believe that there's no amount that isn't beneficial for exercise like the bench press. And if you look at some of the best natural benches of all time, they're usually really fat, if not obese. So could it be true that taking your body fat from 20% to 40% is beneficial on the bench? Possibly. Should you do that? Hell no. Cap it at 25 tops. But even then, shouldn't go more than 20. Now, for me, I was willing to do it because I wanted that 405 bench. If I was going to hit 200 pounds, so be it. But I knew I was going to cut right after. But I never saw myself becoming obese to do that. So I would say bring it back to a reasonable limit of 15 to 20% body fat. Hover around there and you'll get most of the benefits, cushion-wise. Also, you don't want to look fat. You just want to have that buff appearance. Okay, what do you think about creatine and its hair loss effects? I don't think it's a concern. Check out Kevin Mann, aka Hair Cafe, and he kind of dispels that myth among many others you see in the hair loss community. You can say that creatine raises DHT, so theoretically it should also help your beard growth, but I don't think a lot of guys are making transformations on that. What you do see, however, are minoxidil transformations. And at the end of the day, if you are susceptible to male pattern baldness, then it's going to happen regardless. And in that case, you need some intervention. Or the Norwood Reaper will be knocking on your door. Either you get on finasteride, minoxidil, do some derma rolling. You could try the natural alternative, saw palmetto, if you so choose to, but I doubt it's going to work. You got to do something about it. Natural methods, for the most part, aren't going to help. And if you're supposed to be bald, Norwood 6, Norwood 7, the absence of creatine isn't going to change your fate. Turn on Super Chat. I don't even know how to do that. Never done it. Where's the Super Chat button? Did I have to do it before this? Manage. Oh, I'm not exiting that stream. Shout out to Matt C. He's been supporting the channel for years. I've seen your comments. Much love. And let's keep growing this community. Yeah, I don't know how to turn on the Super Chat. That's embarrassing. I'm an influencer. I'll do it next time, I guess. Thanks, man. Always scared of creatine. No worries. And by the way, you should take creatine while you cut. Check out Lane Norton's recent video on that. I didn't do it, but I should have. Okay, we're getting a lot of questions in, guys. Lots of questions. Did you do a proper peak week? Also, why are you so dressed up today as a Canadian? Are you no longer vegan, Jamaican patties of beef? I did do a proper peak week. As I said at the beginning of the stream, followed the exact protocols by Greg Doucette to the letter. So I'm very grateful for that. Why you dress up today? Why not? I can give you other reasons, but who cares? You have the right to look good at any moment. Are you no longer vegan? I haven't been for a long time. Mostly plant-based, but not 100%. It's been a while. But I do acknowledge that it is the best diet in the world. And I'm talking about a whole food, plant-based diet, not a processed vegan diet. You do it right. You follow the diet of Dr. Caldwell Esselstyn. You subscribe to nutritionfacts.org. You look at the actual evidence. This is the way. And you guys can deny it all you want. I used to be that way as well. Some things we just have to accept. People like to hear good things about their bad habits. How long you live streaming? Till about 5:30, but I see we got a lot of people in here, so I kind of feel bad tuning out. I figured that, a lot of you would be leaving by now because, Thanksgiving and all, but I guess you want me to answer your questions some more. So let's keep doing it. Slow mode in chat, please, Alex. Is there an option? There's a lot of people. I don't know what to tell you, bro. What was your cardio during the cut? I talked about that earlier, but at the start, it was every other day, around 30, 60 minutes. Towards the end, every 1 to 2 days, and at the complete end, there was nothing. You don't look buff in a suit, Lamau. Yeah, you're not going to look buff when you shed 40 pounds and you weigh 145 pounds. Not that I'm that now because of all these cheat meals and stuff, but, you know, actually before, you guys wanted me to show you what I look like, right? In this tailored shirt. So I had this tailored 2 years ago, and I was, you know, a lot bigger. So I'm going to show you what this is like, how much muscle you lose. You guys think you're going to look bigger when you're shredded? Here's a wake-up call. I want to show you how small I look. All right? This used to be properly fitted. Okay? Look at the arms. See this? You see? Check this out. Look at that. Floating, bro. Look tiny. See? You guys still want to get shredded? Do you? Tailored. This was not bought off the rack. I swear on my life. In the sense that the moment I got it, the guy took care of me. So, yeah. Oh, and the neck too. I couldn't, yeah. Dang, this is kind of baggy. It is, right? Do you plan to maintain this lean look? Absolutely not. No, no, no. I want to be lean, but not single digit. I don't find it worth it, guys. You look much younger after the cut. Yeah, I find I look older because I could see the wrinkles here that I didn't know I had, right? See, when you're fatter, your face fills in. Any spots that you may have, you just, you know? By the way, I do wear glasses for real. These aren't for show. It's starting to be a little bit problematic. Your neck looks tiny. That's because it is. I got a pencil neck right now, man. You lose 40 pounds, it's gonna shrink. I used to be unchokeable. I couldn't even button this up. I have to be that Italian douchebag. You know what I'm saying? I can't even, yeah. What's your goal squat? 500 pounds, bruh. I know it's not what you see so many powerlifters doing these days, but we gotta start somewhere. And I think my potential is much higher than that. Unchokeable. I'm talking about, like, you get it. Would you say the cut was worth it? I have no regrets because I made a legit transformation that will be on here for who knows how long. I'm not taking it down. And if it can inspire people to push their limits or not go down this path, because I also discuss side effects, that's phenomenal. So we needed to see a real Natty. Someone who's been there, who's done that, who went from bear mode, hitting certain numbers, to being sucked up. We had to witness it. And you got it. So all of my suffering was for the greater good, and I seriously mean it when I say that. I would do it all over again, including the fainting, because I can talk about that too. So long as I'm not dead, hell yeah, it was worth it. Why aren't you 100% if you acknowledge it's the optimal diet? Because I'm not in this for ethics. in the future, I probably will go 100%. But it's because I acknowledge that it is the best diet. I wish I could think differently in this regard. I've seen all the documentaries. I really freaking want to. But right now, I'm not there. I don't know. It's hard for me to explain it, bro. There's no excuses. I acknowledge it's wrong. But, yeah. It's what it is, dude. There's no excuses. Could you estimate your body fat based on the main lifts ratio to your body weight and height? 9%. That's my estimation. Though Greg Doucette quoted me at 8. So who's right? His laser eyes or me? He might be. I could have been 8%. Keep in mind, how did I film this? Using my camera and my lights. I did not tan. I was not on stage. And I did not receive any bodybuilding coaching. This was all me. I did it. So maybe if I would have hired someone temporarily for the next few weeks, I could have been dialed in even further and looked amazing in an actual competition. So based off that, I would say I could have been 8%, but I'm just going to say I was slightly under 10. Are you hitting the 4-plate pull-up before focusing on squats? I'm going to do it at the same time. You need a personal trainer, bro. No, I don't. Did a personal trainer help me bench 405? Though if I were competing, I would hire someone. Like if I wanted shredded glutes, I would probably do it. Though I do think I can probably pull it off by myself. Do you get more agile, athletic, faster, better cardio on the cut? You do. All that is true. But you can't complete the workouts because your energy is too low. So if you think you're going to be doubling your kilometers, it's not really the case. So you don't get out of breath. Let me make that clear. You're good. But the work capacity is what matters most. Did you have to weigh all of your food and eat the same thing every week, etc.? Yes. Every day, pretty much the same foods. Some deviation, but there's nothing you don't weigh, including pumpkin spice. Yeah. You want to have yourself a good coffee? Well, for one, switch to cashew milk. The unsweetened version, it's about 25 calories per cup. Use monk fruit instead of sugar. And then if you want to add the pumpkin spice, go for that. If you want to put the vanilla artificial stuff, go right ahead. That's how you have a good coffee. Much love, Matt. Did you track daily steps? No. And I spend most of the time indoors like a hobbit because you don't want to go out. You just want to lie down in bed and die. Sorry if that got dark. You don't want to die. You just feel not the best. I'm at 198 pounds on the bench. I really want 225. How many tips? Give yourself a few more months, man. You're right there. Maybe run an intermediate program, and it's going to happen fast. Like I would say, even though you probably have linear progression gains to milk, you go conjugate right now, you're not going to regret the progress that's going to happen immediately after. It's amazing what you could do. Like, 225 is only the beginning, my friend. Everybody wants the big 2-play mark. Nah, man, that's not going to be your 1 rep max. No. It's going to be your 3x10, eventually 3 sets of 15. It comes up. This is your base. Were you doing the Bass-Rutten rounds or jogging for cardio? Not this cut. I usually do the Bass-Rutten 30-minute boxing rounds. I didn't do it this time. Only jogging and Iron Wolf burpee style workouts. That's it. Where's your neck? It shrank. I have a pencil neck right now. I've told you guys for years, you stop training it, it's gonna shrink. You pile that on with the extra weight loss, it's gonna shrink. But what's beautiful about this is muscle memory is phenomenal. I'm gonna get it back. 17, 18, just you wait. And I'm gonna be in a much leaner state. Yo, man, you're a tiny beast. Lol. Yeah. Thank you, man. Yo, he's shredded. He's not gonna have a Mike Tyson neck. Word. I don't know why you're grayed out. It's weird how YouTube blurs out some comments. See, like this guy didn't say anything bad. Show. Why is conjugate superior to other methods? For one reason and one reason only. It doesn't break you. If you want to preserve your longevity in this lifting game, minimize overuse injuries, this is the system to run. So you can say that in the short term, it might not be the fastest, but in the long run, you outlast the competition. And this is exactly what we see with Matt winning. Not to mention the amazing general strength gains that you get, and as a whole, it probably is better for athletes. So don't just live in the one-dimensional world of the big three. There's a lot more to fitness than that. How else can I do weighted calisthenics at this level, plus the bench and all that stuff? Is because I'm able to mix in everything since my program is not ultra-specific. So you can make the argument that you're the jack of all trades, master of none, but if you don't compete, who cares? If you're strong at everything, that's a beautiful thing, is it not? Like, would you rather just be good at the big three? Or be good at everything, but not quite as strong? That's your prerogative. Can I get really jacked using weighted calisthenics only? Yes. There's no reason why you can't get close to hitting your natural limit with exclusively weighted calisthenics. Absolutely. You induce progressive overload. You get some crazy numbers on it. 3-plate weighted pull-up, 4 or 5 plates in the dip. 100-pound push-ups for reps, 3x20. You're going to be buff. How can I contact you for personal program? outalpha.com/contact. Which celebrity has your ideal physique? None, because I don't compare myself to celebrities, and you shouldn't either. But if I can give you a relatable physique, I would have to say Henry Cavill from Man of Steel. I think that's the ideal look for most people. And no, it's not Brad Pitt from Fight Club. I think he was relatively skinny in that movie. And you can easily get that physique, by the way. Just gotta be lean enough. Would you like the tan? I don't want skin cancer. I thought about going in a tanning bed before the cut, but then I remember the old school bodybuilders, the legends that I looked up to, and none of them had spray tan on. You know, they were just European, showing their whiteness. Sure, they didn't look as defined, but whatever. It is what it is. I don't have much of a tan, even though genetically I should. I'm 50-50 Greek and Italian. Like straight on. Half. All from the south. I look like this. I'm not going to artificially try to do anything about that. And because I'm from Canada, you're not going to be dark. Good luck trying to get a tan here in the wintertime. You're dressed up. I'm already not getting proper sunlight right now. Cypriot Greek. It's from the olive plantation area. I think it's Thessalonia or whatever. I'm also the Spartan. I'm all over Greece, bro. My last name, just to say, is Leonidas. It's not a pen name. Like, that's literally on my birth certificate. My name is Alexander Leonidas. And actually, one of the things I want to do moving forward I'm strongly considering this, but I'd like to rebrand. Maybe just be me. I thought Alexander Leonidas, but what about Alex Leonidas? Because everybody calls me Alex. That's what I'm known for, and people probably wouldn't say the full name, Alexander. But I love my name. But I'm thinking of switching it up. Alex Leonidas. It's a bit more casual as well. But yeah, it's for real. Do it. What do you guys think? Think it's a good idea? Because I created the Alpha Destiny name when I was 17 years old. You know, I was a cringy gamer nerd. Like, I even thought of the name Alpha Quest. All the names that I had written up on the draft, it had Alpha this, Alpha that. Nah, I don't even believe in that stuff for the most part. Don't identify with it. But I get where people are coming from when you look at some of my older stuff. It's understandable. That's why it's like, I don't even talk about that shit. So I'm thinking just going Alex Leonidas. Make it Alexander Leonidas. I'd love that, man. Are people gonna accept my first name, Alexander? We'll see, we'll see. Your real name would be so much better. I like it. Appreciate you guys. Change it to Alexander. Do it, do it. Oh man, you guys are tempting me. Call yourself Xander. That's a pretty cool one too. Or you go full Greek mode. You go Alexios. Actually, my grandmother used to call me Alexandros. Alexandros. Yeah. And the Italians call me Alessandro. But that ain't it, you know? Do it, okay. Alexandros the Great. You Assassin's Creed. Grandma knows best. Damn right. Made the best food also. Alright. Let's get away from these name comments, man. Let's talk more about some fitness stuff. Or if you got personal questions, we can dive into that as well. I'm game for whatever, honestly. I thought you guys were gonna leave by now, but we got 600 plus people in here. And it's closing in on 5:30. You guys ain't eating, or did you eat early already? Because I know we had our Canadian Thanksgiving in October, and it was early in the day, not supper time. So how do you guys do it over there in the States? $3DMJ? What about $3DMJ? I like this stuff. From Norway. Much love from Canada, brother. Okay, I'm getting a lot of questions here. Getting a lot of questions. And Fazal, please stop asking if those people are alpha. Come on, bro. Okay, I'm gonna have to pause this, guys. It's too many. What is going on? Yoked with calisthenics. I made a video about that. Are you gonna main gain in the traditional sense? No, I'm gonna do lean bulking and cutting, like within a 5-pound range. I feel like that's realistic. Can you unblock me on IG? Well, your name is Ecto Manlet, so I don't know what you posted. I don't mind unblocking you. I don't know who you are, though. That's the thing. But if you're gonna post dumb comments, then like if you write something with the intention of, you know, being a douchebag, like what are you doing, bro? I don't know who that is. I don't really follow him. Doesn't he do prank videos, that guy? You need a moderator? Nah, I can moderate. Because we're good. We got a positive community of real people. So you're writing some good comments. If you had to pick between creatine and whey protein, creatine hands down. First of all, you don't need protein powder. Let's get that straight. Most of you guys are consuming way more than you would possibly ever need. If you're getting 0.8 grams per pound of body weight, that's more than enough protein. And you can do that on a whole foods diet. Straight up, it's not difficult. But if you did want to switch to a protein powder, I wouldn't choose whey. Not the traditional whey anyway. It would be isolate for the digestive system or a vegan protein powder, because why not? But creatine, looking at the evidence, it does seem to work. And it's an effect that goes beyond just simple nutrition manipulation. Rebrand, and I'll help you with a Spartan theme logo. Well, I'll tell you what, guys. If any of you are a talented graphics designer, you got yourself a nice portfolio, send me an email. alex.alphadestiny@gmail.com. I'm game to look through your work. If you can give me something that's workable, that I could use professionally, we can do business. I'll pay you, you'll have me in your portfolio, we can do that. So send over your stuff. What's your ideal weight? 165 pounds. I felt really, really good, and I don't think I lost a lot of strength in that range. Just to say, in 2019, I did a very bouncy 395 touch and go bench, but it was literally just a bounce. I went like that, and I was 169. So I can be very close to a 4-play bench in the 160s. That's not challenging for me. The real challenge would be trying to get the actual 4-play number in that zone, which I do think it's possible, but it's going to take a bit more time. So definitely in that zone, rather than trying to be single digit or absurdly fluffy, because then when you're 20% body fat, your calisthenics performance goes down, and that's not really fun. And I like to be more well-rounded, and I think it's healthier to be in a leaner state, but not too lean. Did you snake juice fast? 48.72s, only 148. Usually I do more of that, but during this cut, man, I didn't have the energy to do so, man. How to meticulously calculate calories burned and consumed. What you have to do, first of all, the calories burned is a tough one, because you have to factor in your non-exercise activity thermogenesis, and that will be modified as you get closer to shredded status. You just get lethargic and tired, and sometimes the machine might say you're burning 200, but that is already closer to 150 or so. Then you factor in your lower energy, and it's even less than that. So the burning part could be challenging, and I think a good way around this is by having different days where different calories are consumed. And this is precisely what Chris Bumstead did. On workout days, he would have 1,800 calories to replenish, and on non-workout days, 1,500. So it's the same thing here. And in regards to meticulously calculating it, that's an experience thing that will be determined once you plateau. So you can start off, I don't know, maybe 3,000 calories for maintenance. See if your weight is going up or not. If it's stalling, try 2,800. And eventually you'll find a number where weight loss occurs. And then when that next stall comes in, you drop it down by another 5% or so, and you keep moving forward that way. So it's just the initial maintenance factor that needs to be considered. Timestamp boy here, my man Quinn Taylor. For those who don't know, I used to do a lot of live streams in 2017, and my man right here used to timestamp everything, which was always appreciated. And I appreciate you showing love after all this time, bro. And I hope that you timestamp it again. But no pressure, bro. You don't have to do anything. Just you being here is more than enough. Oh, it's 5:30, boys. What should we do? We're still over 600 people. I'd have to be quite the douchebag to say bye-bye. Actually, what do you call it? When I did the premiere for my transformation video, I felt really bad because I hit the refresh page and I wasn't able to respond to your comments. And it bothered me so much because I wanted to chat it up. You guys waited, you know, we did the countdown together. You know, we exchanged little comments during the video itself. But then at the end, I wasn't able to, you know, answer more questions when the vibe was there. So I apologize for that. But that's why I'm here right now. And we're going strong. So, okay, I think I'm going to go a bit longer. Let me just get a quick glass of water because I'm very freaking thirsty. As you can see. I got a tiny amount. I just spilled it. All right. Close the stream. Open it up with super chats. Great. There's no need for super chats right now. I'll do it next time. If you want to support me, check out my website. The naturally enhanced program is always available. If you want, I could write your program as well. That's not a problem. But I'll do the super chat next time. Top Lift. Congrats on the shred transformation. Super inspiring Natty gains. My man. This is someone that I really respect. We've been going back and forth for years. He has a channel of his own, and he's always documenting his progress. And he's also natural. So if you guys want to see what another strong lifter can do, not only at weights, but also calisthenics, Top Lift is the guy. All right. I'm going to get a quick and happy Thanksgiving, bro. I'm from Canada, but happy Thanksgiving to you and all my American subscribers. So let me get a glass of water. I'll be right back. Okay, that was quick. What's up? What's up? Like the Secret Labs chair, by the way. Funny how the spam stopped. Yeah, the views are going down. It happens quick. Proud of you, bro. Missed the live stream. It's okay. It's gonna be posted, but I'm probably gonna cut out the first part of it. You know, when I'm just reading certain things or whatever. I'll leave it. Okay, guys. I'm gonna give you another half hour tops. Okay, that's how we're gonna roll. And I want to know from you, would you like me to bring back the weekly Q&As or having them once a month? Or would you prefer more live streams as a whole on a consistent basis? What do you think? Yes, once a week. Weekly. More live streams, please, weekly. Bring back weekly, once a month. More live streams for sure. The OG live streams, okay. Well, you guys seem to enjoy it. We've kept a pretty steady viewership throughout the entire stream. And we've gotten so many comments and support, and it's amazing to see. So I enjoy connecting with you guys, just shooting it up nice and raw like this. Don't take that out of context. And yeah, probably gonna do it a little bit more frequently. So I don't know how long that's gonna last for, but sure, we could do a bit more live streams. We could do it. We could do it. Hourly. Thing is, it's that point where it's like you answer so many questions on a frequent basis that you start to lose that vibe. So I'm not gonna spoil you too much with that, but I'll give you some more. All right, let's see some questions, homies. Bro, you made me some gains from the novice program. Thank you. Much love. Where's Yuki the cat? She's no longer here, bro. She's doing well. I think she's like 8 years old. But shame with me. What to do if your tricep clicks on the extensions of any kind. I wouldn't worry if there's no pain associated with that. It's really if it's causing you to fail on your presses or develop overuse injuries that actually prevent you from doing extensions at all, right? Like in my case, I have hypermobile elbows, and when I would do extensions of any type, I would get sharp pains. And it even led to also getting golfer's elbow right here. So it was more than just a click. It was an actual physical problem, right? And the way I corrected that was by doing high rep band push downs, which you can see all of it in my elbow pain solution segment. Over there, you'll learn the truth about what it takes to once and for all solve this issue. If it worked for me and I had terrible elbow pain, always had issues, even with 5-pound dumbbells, it'd be the same for you too. But if it's only clicking, I wouldn't stress too hard. Have you watched any of the Pioneers videos? Absolutely, man. I'm a subscriber. I watched them a few weeks ago, actually. I don't see all of them, and usually it's after a certain amount of time I like to pile up and just go through them one shot, but he definitely makes amazing content, and I definitely think he's natural as well, and is a good demonstration of what it means to be well-rounded. How has your mindset and self-control changed from your cut? Quite a bit. You have a lot more discipline. You can just say no to stuff very easily. And you know the difference between being a food addict that just wants to stuff his face versus being okay. Like right now, I'm eating out of pure gluttony. It's not that I can't prevent myself from eating. It's just I want to eat, but I'm aware of it. I know that this is not actual hunger I'm going through. It's just enjoyment, if you will. So you learn to make that distinction, and you're hyper aware. You're no longer delusional about what it takes to get to that next level of leanness. And for any goal moving forward, you can calibrate accordingly. So when you're shredded, it's so difficult diet-wise. You have to calculate everything that you being lean is a joke now that you know what it takes to get to single digit. And because you can accurately look at something due to calculating for all these months, you get this laser eye precision when portion controlling. So now you don't have to weigh everything to maintain a lean state year round. You can just look at food and you know exactly what you're getting yourself into. So there's this mental change that happens in the sense that discipline is enhanced and you have a better understanding of what it takes to be lean year round. So I hope that was clear. What do you think your max deadlift and squat potential is if you had to peak and stuff? At 180, 185. Okay. First of all, I'm not at my potential with that. I think in my lifetime, I can probably do a 700-pound deadlift. I believe in myself. Squat, probably 585. I think 6 plates is in the cards if I push myself hard enough. So I would say 700 dead, 585, 600 squat, and 440 bench. I think I could do that. But it's going to take me another 5 years, probably, or longer, maybe another decade. I don't know. But I have a high sense of self with that. And I think that a lot of you guys got crazier standards than you even realize right now. When I talk about certain numbers being achievable, it's not me trying to sell you the wrong way or anything. I really believe in what I say. Been watching you for a long time. Love your vids. Thank you, man. Those who've been with me all this time, you have no idea how much it means. You keep me going because you've been through the journey, and we can relate on some older content as well. Because we interacted back then and we're still interacting. We got that connection. Is it okay to train chest once a week? It is okay to train any muscle once a week. but it probably isn't optimal compared to doing it twice a week. So I would say an upper-lower program or push-pull legs will likely do more for you than a bro split. Not that you can make gains with that because there is some overlap, and perhaps the whole idea of muscle protein synthesis has been overrated to begin with. Entirely a possibility. But regardless, I think most naturals will get the best gains benching twice a week, overhead pressing twice a week, squatting twice a week. The only exception would be the deadlift. And that's because of the stimulus to fatigue ratio. I would rather you do one workout off the floor, the other one with blocks, or you change the way you do it by like hitting RDLs one session, then maybe good mornings the next, which isn't even a deadlift, but it's still a hip hinge. So you can do the movement pattern, but it need not be with a barbell in your hand. So yeah, twice a week instead of every day or every other day, in my opinion. I think this is the most sustainable and enjoyable too. Thoughts on straps to continue deadlift progression? Go for it, bro. All these guys who are like, oh, you're gonna lose your grip strength by doing strap work only. First of all, there's other ways to build grip. When I did the 700 trap bar, I used straps. But what did I do right before that? 655. Now, you have to ask, did I do trap bar work raw? Not even. Not even deadlift training. I was doing good mornings, lunges, but also weighted pull-ups, heavy rows, stuff like that. So I got my grip gains from other movements. And you can say, oh, Alex didn't pull 700 without straps. I still pulled 655. And on any given day, I can do in the 500s. I don't have grip issues because you can build it through other ways. So if you use exclusively double over straps, which eliminates the risk of tearing your bicep, and you can maximally load the deadlift, how is that a problem? And the same goes for other pulls. Like if you hit that point where you're rowing in the 200s, you don't have to be an elitist and do double over with straps, man. Sorry, without straps. All these guys who believe in there's only one way to do things. Don't use equipment. Be 100% raw, bro. Forget about all that. How you bust a 55 kilo overhead press plateau and running novice program? I tried deloading benches at 70 kilos. Okay. First of all, calculator. I can't do kilos in my brain. Sorry, man. 123 pounds. Okay, that's the problem. You're pretty much already there intermediate-wise. Your bench, however... Whoa. That's a bad ratio, dude. That's a little bit too close. It's like a 30-pound difference about. You got some strong shoulders. Maybe triceps as well. Your chest is a lagging area, straight up. So I think you have to run a hybrid program of some type. Or just drop the overhead pressing temporarily, focus more on the flat bench because that's a rare ratio to see. Your OHP, if you're benching 70 kilos, your OHP should be very far from that. Very weird to see. St. Leo, Montreal. What's up, Will? Where you going tonight? Milano's? Got some bro sandwiches? Got some pizza out here? Gonna go to United? Are you a Habs fan? I like the Habs, of course. I want to see them win the cup. Just vibing it out. What frequency and overall volume for calisthenics? The same as your weight training, guys. Twice a week. You don't need more than that. Is a 225 bench, 95 overhead press, a good ratio. It's could be better, but it's not terrible. With that, I mean, usually perfection would be 2-plate OHP, 2-plate bench, 1-plate overhead press. That's like 1-to-1, you got nothing to worry about. Closer to that would be maybe 225 bench, 115 OHP. Sometimes we see the opposite, 135 OHP with a 205 bench. But they should all be relatively similar. Do GOMAD getting small? No, thank you, bro. And you don't need GOMAD to gain weight. It's very easy to do eating normal foods. Are you trying to gain fat or just get back to being in a leaner state? How do you guys do your cardio in the winter? The best way would be calisthenics workouts, man. Do high rep burpees. Straight up. Check out Iron Wolf. No equipment needed besides a floor. And you'll see what body weight exclusively can do for you. You're going to be burning, huffing and puffing. I guarantee you that 20 minutes of one of his sessions will put any jogging session to shame. You'll get more fit doing that stuff than going outside doing traditional cardio. Try it. Report back. I'm telling you, you're going to be shocked. Turns you into a little... Did for me anyway. And I've been running for years. Nice ratio, bro. You inspire me to do burpees. Good. Burpees are the real deal. It's what they do in prison because they don't have access to treadmills. And it's what a lot of military guys do as well. Time tested, man. They're not going away. I saw a video. I think it was... You know what? Let's not even go there. There's a certain... No. I'd rather not get involved in drama. How sissy squats, good assistance for the high bar squat? Possibly, but the thing is, what's likely going to limit your quad, your squat is the adductors, right? And they work synergistically with the quads. So if you actually have a legit quad weakness, then the sissy squat could be valuable, but maybe doing an exercise that's more specific that also involves the posterior chain as well as the adductors in general to a higher extent would be more beneficial. Like, I think a belt squat would give you better carryover than a sissy squat. But of course, you could still do the sissy squat, but I wouldn't put greater emphasis on it because the squat is not as quaddy as you think. And that's not necessarily going to be the limiting factor in most cases. Do a video with Scott Bernhard. I'd like to interview him next. And once we can meet up in New York, if possible, get a workout in person. So, all in due time, guys. Inch standard for big chest, I don't know. Because I feel like height is a big factor here. Like, when I benched 405, I had a 46-inch chest. There's people who bench a lot less than that with slightly larger measurements, but they're not my height. And then, like, you also got to factor in the back mass when you measure around like that. So I would say anywhere between 41 and 46 is probably really good from what I've seen. But it's a bit more unclear compared to the arms. Like the arms, we know 16 to 18 is your typical range. I'm gonna answer this guy's question. Does lifting real heavy with lots of volume make your you-know-what shrink in the long term? Not the short term effect of blood flow. I'm genuinely worried year after year. Urges are low too. If you're getting lower urges, maybe it's your testosterone levels. It's not heavy lifting. If anything, training keeps your body healthier and maintains a better hormonal profile in the long run. So unless you're severely overtraining, which that in itself is very debatable, maybe you're just not recovering from the workouts. Like you're training so hard that your calories are low, and maybe you don't sleep enough to compensate for that. So that's leading to lower urges. That's always a possibility. But in terms of actual shrinkage and affecting your performance, I doubt, you're not going to have that problem unless you're really on the verge of being effed up. Like you're not doing right with your workouts. So you shouldn't be experiencing this. Maybe it's just you've been training for so long and now you're getting older that you actually are getting lower T, and it's being reflected in how you feel. So the best thing I could tell you is to see a doctor, man. Take it from there. Get your blood work done, as hypocritical as that may be for me. If you're not feeling the right way, do something about it. And there's nothing wrong with getting medical intervention if you so need it. Now, if you don't need it, it's all in your head, then maybe you're just doing something seriously wrong with your training and your diet. And I would also, actually, one thing I didn't mention, heart disease could be a factor in this, man. Maybe get on Dr. Caldwell Esselstyn's diet to enhance your blood flow. Get on high nitric oxide rich foods. Get on arugula, bro. Have some beets. Kale, constantly. Get that in your system. Hope that helps. Around what body fat before you start feeling like absolute going further? It's when I was in the 150s. That's when I started not to feel so good. The 160s was fairly doable. All right, guys, we're going to end off the stream at 6 o'clock. So let's see your best questions. We're going to bang it out. 8 more minutes, okay? Love from India. Okay, it's piling in. Raw garlic, probably good for immune system. I've had it. It might hurt your stomach like 30 seconds in, but after that, you go through it no problem. I think if you're going to attempt something like this, just get yourself some garlic pills. Nature's Bounty is a good brand because you can buy the 2,000 milligram garlic version. And if you combine that with vitamin C, it has an added effect of enhancing blood flow. From what I've seen in one study, by the way. Would 20 rep weighted pistol squats have the same effects of growth on your legs as a 20 rep barbell back squat? It wouldn't be the same because the barbell back squat is going to involve a lot more muscles. And the posterior chain should hypertrophy better with the squat, the barbell back squat. And you can't match the loads because there's a stability component of doing weighted pistol squats. So even if you're getting 20 reps, it's so not the best movement for absolute strength that you're getting a compromised load on the actual muscles themselves. But would it do a good job at building up your quads? Absolutely. If you're actually going to failure and you're getting stronger over time, so let's say 3 sets of 20 on a weighted pistol squat with 5 pounds, and you dedicate yourself to that lift, get up to doing 45 pounds, you're going to notice extreme growth in your quads. There's no question about it. But would that be worse than doing a back squat? Probably. From a comparison, one-to-one, like, if you focus on bigger movements, generally you'll get bigger growth, but I don't think it's a bad idea to do, just not as optimal. And keep in mind, you're going to have to do 20 on each leg. That could be annoying. So why not just do 3 sets of 10 to failure instead of 3 by 20? I get you want to get more or less weight, but it could be rough. Who's your favorite Natty fitness YouTuber? Right now, probably Natural Hypertrophy. I agree with his stats. He will show you a different message about the natural limit. And he has these deep talks. If you can handle through it, I like long videos. I grew up on that. I got the attention span for it. If you want to learn some things, if you want to hear an extreme perspective that used to be more commonly held by a lot of people, check him out. I like it. I like it a lot. I like Jeffrey Verity Schofield. He's really good too. One of my favorites right now. I mess with naturals. I don't follow steroid users for the most part, except for some that I respect because they're honest and they actually do give good advice, like Renaissance Periodization, amazing stuff. I like Greg Doucette as well, by the way. Some people thought we had beef in the past, but no, that's just disagreement. You know, I can name you a whole list of people I follow here. Scott Herman Fitness, natural. I like Jeff Nippard, Fitness FAQs. Omar Isuf, Iron Wolf, Scott Bernhard, Alec and Curie, Massive Iron, Steve Shaw, on point. I can go on. I got a bunch of people here. Got a lot of music here as well. So let's see. I saw you had a good question, but I lost it. Okay. Does incline bench press strength help with flat bench strength? It should. For example, if you train exclusively the incline bench and you go from 2 plates to 275, I would say your flat bench should be minimum 315, even without ever doing it. But the thing is, it also goes both ways, but not in the same way, in the sense that the OHP and the incline complement each other better than the incline complements the flat bench, in my opinion, because the incline's a lot of anterior delt, particularly the angle that is most commonly used. Now, if you use a really low incline, so you're flat and you're right here, then it's going to have a pretty more specific effect. But otherwise, yeah, I mean, it is a good movement. In my experience, I got the best gains when I was doing a lot of flat bench combined with OHP. That did more for me than trying to load up over 2 plates on the incline bench. Also, when you do incline, I recommend using a close grip with a pause. Those are really going to be beneficial for your general strength. They're hard, humbling, athletic. Give them a shot. Wrapping up. How to deal with beginner plateaus, cry face. What program are you running, man? Look at all the novice programs on the internet. There's at least 5 of them that are really similar to each other. And some of them have different methods of overcoming plateaus. But one person I can point you to would be Greg Nuckols. He wrote an excellent article that goes beyond just taking a deload and working your way back up. He gives specific strategies on how to milk the linear progression that much more. So I don't remember exactly what it was entitled, but his content on novice training is excellent, and you should definitely check him out, as well as his mass publication thing that he does. Okay, I got you, bro. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to you as well. How do I practice and learn my skill work like the planche and front lever and other stuff? I do a push-pull split for hypertrophy hybrid. Okay, so when I spoke to Mechanimal about this, he likes to treat the skill work as accessories and doing so at the end of the program. So you max out on, say, a way to pull up, a way to dip. You're doing rep work to hypertrophy the muscles of that movement. So that would be back down sets. And then once all the main hypertrophy stuff is done, then you do the skill stuff. And the fact that you're training multiple elements at the same time because you're running something that's conjugate, if you will, you're going to get good at it all. So on a pull day, I would do front lever training at the end. That's what I've done. On a push day, I would do the planches at the end. You've seen this all on camera, and I've done some pretty good stuff. Though I will say that my planche is my worst lift on the skills because I didn't really dedicate a tremendous amount of time towards it. So I would just do it at the end. Otherwise, you can have a dedicated skill day, but then you're taking away from the absolute strength, muscle gaining benefits. So time is up, but I'm going to answer 3 more questions for you guys. Let's get some bonus in, okay? Good questions. What do I choose? Where did you get your beater bar from in your home gym? What company makes it? Thanks for all the work. From Ireland. Well, a lot of my equipment was purchased at Fitness Avenue in addition to my original beater bar. I eventually sold that. I think it was during the pandemic that I got rid of it because a lot of people needed bars and I was available with the extra stuff. So I got rid of that bar and ended up buying a deadlift bar instead, which is from Strong Arm Sport. It's the same finish, so it might look similar, but that's there. And then all the other bars from there on have been bought from Bells of Steel. The trap bar, I got it. My loadable dumbbells, same thing. Actually, the Easy Bar I got from Amazon from the Synergy Sport company. And the SSB3 they sent over to me. And I'm honored to represent because I genuinely believe they're an excellent company. They have great stuff, including a Black Friday special, which you should check out right now. You want to save some money, get things that are of actual quality that I use, that I bought with my own money initially, you can't go wrong. So Bells of Steel is really, really good. And if I could redo my home gym, I would have bought mostly from there instead of trying to get the pricier stuff from Rogue Fitness because you get wrecked with that. Hey Alex, I have really long arms and it's hard to put on any visible mass on them, even though my upper body lifts are in the intermediate stage. Would you have any suggestions? I would tell you that you're in a good position because eventually your arms are going to put mine to shame and many other people who are of shorter stature because you have all this potential that's waiting to be unlocked. Sure, they may not be the biggest right now, and the same measurement on someone who's shorter than you will look bigger, but that doesn't matter. It's about the long-term potential. As a taller man, you can probably get 18-inch arms much more effectively than a shorter dude. So it's not what you do right now. You might be intermediate, you're not the biggest quote-unquote, even though your lean body mass is somewhat decent, but I guarantee you that when you're an advanced or even elite lifter, you stand next to me, there's no comparison. There's a difference between looking bigger on camera or having the illusion of size because everything's a little bit stockier and closer together versus actually being a freaking titan, right? And if you look at a lot of the posing videos on YouTube, they're always talking about how you want to make yourself look shorter. That's what John Meadows discussed, and rest in peace to him. He would say how when you do a side chest pose, you bring your waist closer to your chest, so you're going down here and also opening up a bit. So you're trying to make yourself wider and shorter at the same time. So it's all little techniques like that. And honestly, in your case, you just got to give yourself more time. That's all it is. Be a little bit patient. Put on 20 to 30 pounds, lean tissue. You're going to look amazing. But it's not going to happen right away. But don't give in just because you have longer arms. All right, last question for this Q&A. Would you go bear mode again? I would, because it has a special place in my heart. Because of bear mode, my channel took off because it was never going to do that without offering that perspective of being 15 to 20% body fat, focusing on the neck and traps, the forearms, outer extremities of the body. It was a very unique look, and it inspired a lot of people, and many still rock that today. And hey, I went back to it in 2021, and it allowed me to get a 4-5 bench. So I am forever grateful for that look. And many people still love it, always will, because it is something else. You are strong, you are buff, you can rock tighter clothes. It really is an amazing physique. You're enjoying your life. You are freaking happy. You're not miserable. You're never starving. You eat when you want. You look like a tank. It's a great physique for real naturals. So I would go back to it, but not right away. I want to enjoy the fact that I've leaned down. Don't want to gain too much weight back, obviously. Still be somewhat decent. And this guy wrote, it's healthy as long as you cap it at 20% body fat. If you go beyond that and you start eating a bunch of junk food, dirty bulking style, then it could be a bit problematic. But assuming you're just maintaining a slightly fluffier state year round, it's not really a huge concern. So do your cardio, eat properly, rock a slightly fluffier state. It'll change. Look at that. Bear mode changed my life too. You bet it does, man. It changed a lot of people's lives. So you can realistically expect that as well. If you're someone who's tired of being scrawny, small, you want to fill in your clothes, you want some crazy numbers, you're tired of the plateaus, getting strong is the objective. Looking massive without flexing. You don't have to try. You just own it. You walk into a room, there's that presence, man. It's freaking fantastic. Like, this is what's going to give you the most gains in a weight training sense. So for that, you bet it's worth it, and I would go back to it. And if I ever needed to bench 440, I wouldn't think of any other way. Get big, bro. I'll probably bulk up to 200 pounds. My fluffiest state yet. But I know that the gains will be real. So there's a time and place for everything in life, and you got to know what's applicable to you right now. So that's my answer to that. Guys, we're done the live Q&A. I want to thank every single one of you for being here today. We retained a large audience, lots of questions. It was lots of fun. I'd like to do some more live streams moving forward with my actual camera. Maybe in the weight training room too. We can get some sessions in together. That would be awesome. So stay tuned for more good stuff. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for all your support. I do this for you. I'm going to keep doing this for you. And let's keep representing what's possible with some willpower, some discipline, elevating our standards, and just never giving up. As cheesy as that may sound, we keep moving forward. So much love and respect to you all. I'll talk to you all in the next video and Q&A. Peace out.